The following is yet another high school sports presentation brought to you by the high school sports leader in North Texas, 92.1 FM KXEZ, the Possum.
Saturday afternoon action for you here today as we are coming to you from the practice home of the Dallas Cowboys, the Ford Center in Frisco, where we are set to bring you today's 5A Division II quarterfinal round of matchup between the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears and the Lovejoy Leopards. Hello, everyone, and welcome. You're tuned in to 92.1 FM at KXEZ. I'm Ethan Herrera. Thank you for joining me today on this Saturday afternoon. Today's matchup features two programs who are absolutely hungry for a berth to the state semifinals. South Oak Cliff comes in with a record of 12-1 overall out of the District 6 5A Division II. They come off a win last round against Aledo, the Bearcats. That was quite possibly the biggest win in South Oak Cliff program history. The Lovejoy Leopards, representing District 7 5A Division II, also have a record of 12-1. These two teams are absolute powerhouses this year. They took down a strong Mansfield Timberview team last week, as you heard on 92.1 FM KXEZ, in the regional semifinal round at a score 24-20 right here in the Frisco Ford Center. South Oak Cliff, Lovejoy, a berth to the state semifinals on the line tonight. We'll talk about the Lovejoy Leopards when we come back, when our countdown to kickoff continues on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, sponsors for today's broadcast: Preston Trail Farm Store, Smith Quality Greenhouses, Collin County Feed and Seed in downtown McKinney, and Hickman Creations, vintage cars and trucks. And don't forget, folks, if you can't get us here at 92.1 KXEZ on the radio, you can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com or the TuneIn Radio app. Click on 92.1 KXEZ and hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. The Lovejoy Leopards come in 12-1 overall. First, actually, they were co-champions with Frisco Liberty out of District 7 5A Division II. Quick rundown of their playoff history. I know I gave it to you last week, but for all you new listeners out there, since 2008, they came into, as their first playoff berth, they became a team and a program for football in 2006. They've had 13 playoff appearances since then. They've only missed once since 2008, and that was back in 2016. They've got 3 outright district championships in 10, 12, and 20, and 2 undefeated seasons in 2012 and last year in 2020. This is the 4th time, make it the 2nd time in this 3rd round, or their 3rd time in this 4th round, I'll say. Last year, they won to Mansfield Timberview, and they ended up facing an Aledo team that South Oak Cliff took down last week, but they faced an Aledo team. They lost in this round, quarterfinal round, by 4 points, 52-48. They're looking to get back on track and head to the state semifinal round for the first time since 2009, and that was back when they were only playing 4 rounds. So they've never actually been to a 5th round of the Texas high school playoffs, and they're really hungry. The Leopards are. They're led out there. We'll go over a couple of their team stats. They are 441 yards of offense total a game. 441, that's got it quite astounding. 258 come through the air and 182 come on the ground. Offensive points, 46 points per game, and 49 if you count all the defensive touchdowns that they bring in. That team can really play some defense. They're led out by their head coach, Chris Ross, in his 2nd season with Lovejoy. He comes in with a record of 25-2. In his 16 years as a head coach, though, he's 132-54, making 133 now, and 54. 12 playoff appearances, 7 district champs, and only 1 losing record. That was back in 2004 with Wichita Falls. That's where he started his coaching career. Then moved on to Cedar Park, became the AD at Leander, and then coached for a year at Prosper. And then Coach Chris Ross became the Director of Program Development at Boise State, where they won 2 Mountain West Conference championships while he was there. Then he decided to come back to Texas and coach a little Red Oak football, and it wasn't until last year that took him to the quarterfinals this round last year, where he decided to come to Lovejoy again. So in his 2nd year as the Lovejoy head coach, takes him to back-to-back 4th round appearances in the Texas State playoffs. They're going to be led out by Alexander Hondo Franklin. I'm going to be referring to Alexander Franklin by Hondo, that name. He is 190 for 103 or 301 yards. I got those backwards. 63% on the year. Over 3,000 yards, 3,004 yards to be exact, with 49 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He threw 2 last week, interceptions that is, but that 49 touchdowns on the year so far is 12 better than any other quarterback in the 5A Division II area up here in North Texas. He's got a couple of weapons to throw to. Jackson Lavender leads that with 75 receptions, 1,113 yards for him on 15 touchdowns. Cal Parker is that second leading receiver with 767 yards, 11 touchdowns on 47 receptions. Look out on the run game because they'll do that a lot. Noah Nadeau leads that bunch with over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. 1 fumble loss, though, so look out for that, as that is going to be the key for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, which I'll get into when we come back from break as our countdown to kickoff continues as Lovejoy takes the field, and we'll get a quick one in. The kickoff from the Frisco Ford Center straight ahead on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. .1 FM, KXEZ, and 95.3 KHYI. The Reigns are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. Thanks for listening, and of course, for all of your continued support throughout the years. Also, the friendly folks at Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So, longtime sponsor Grayson Collin Electric wants to wish you and your family a Happy Holidays, a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. This is a team that kind of came out of nowhere this year, although they've been fantastic as of late. They came in number 5 in the state in 5A Division II out of the regular season, 12-1 out of District 6 5A Division II. Real quick rundown of their history: 19 consecutive playoff appearances. 19. And I know I just said that they've come out of nowhere, but that is a big number. Since 2000, they've only missed the playoffs one time, and that was in 2002. Last time they made it to the 5th round, though, or the 4th round, this round, was in 1970. They have back-to-back regional appearances in 13 and 14. Then they had 16 and 18 where they had regional appearances. That was their only time that they ever made, those 4 times, to those regional appearances. And it is getting loud here in the Frisco Ford Center as they do a coin toss in the middle of the field where Lovejoy has won it. And I'll tell you real quick who is going to receive, who's going to kick off. South Oak Cliff is going to receive as Lovejoy elects to kick off after they win it. Coach Jason Todd, 7th season as a head coach with a record of 67-19. Hit an undefeated regular season in 2018 as a product of Texas Southern and A&M Commerce. Assistant coach at Lincoln High School, Skyline High School, and then South Oak Cliff in 2014, and now he serves as the head coach. Of course, this South Oak Cliff team lost the very first game to Duncanville, and they have not lost since the first game of the season, the powerhouse Duncanville out of 6A Division I, and they have gone on a tear of 13 straight victories, and it has been crazy. It's been a season to remember so far. Kevin Henry Jennings leads that troop out there. The senior, 2,443 yards through the air with 34 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. Quaylen Farrer, who just committed to the University of North Texas, runs the backfield with 889 yards out of the backfield on the ground, 13 touchdowns. And Keandre Hollywood right there with him, 972 yards on the ground with 14 touchdowns. That's a dual threat back there, Hollywood and Farrar. Kevin Henry Jennings is going to throw the ball to his star receivers, Randy Reese, with 36 receptions, 731 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Also, Cawley for them is going to be big, 27 receptions, 830 yards on 9 touchdowns. That's Jamiri Cawley for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. They average 410 yards per game, and we are just about ready to go. Straight ahead is the kickoff in the 4th round of the Texas High School Playoffs when we come back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. And the kickoff about to start here from the Frisco Ford Center at the Star, practice home of the Dallas Cowboys. The officials for today's ball game. The referee, Ricky Heron II. Umpire, Mike Washington. Headline judge, Jack Cook. The line judge, Brandon Nunn. The field judge, David Hormel. Side judge, Nicholas McFall. And the back judge is Mahir Burkadley. 7-man crew here for the fourth round of the Texas High School Playoff. 5A Division II, the Lovejoy Leopards trying to advance for the first time to the state semifinal since 2009. And South Oak Cliff looking to get their first state semifinal since 1970. Lined up, ready to go. Caden Carlock kicks off and a sky kick out to the 35-yard line. And dancing around South Oak Cliff and brought down near the 30-yard line. We are underway from the Star, the Frisco Ford Center. And I tell you what, folks, the crowd has showed out today on both sides. South Oak Cliff filling up their side, the home side, and Lovejoy filling up both decks on this side, on their side of the Ford Center. And we'll get our first look at the offense, the dangerous offense of the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Remember, 12-1, 13-1 will be their best start since 1970. From the left hash mark now, Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. DeAndre Holloway to the right of him. Two receivers to the right side, three to the right side now. He drops back, looks to fire down the right seam, has his man, caught at the 45, back to 50, runs into a man, trucks him down inside Lovejoy territory, across the 45 and down to the 40-yard line. Some fireworks to start out here from the Ford Center. Beautiful pitch and catch to Randy Reese. Reese's 37th reception that leads the team of the year. Reese now goes out wide to the left side. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. The number on the left side. To the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. Snap throw off to the right side of the 40-yard line and met right there at the line of scrimmage. Big time play by the cornerback Jaden Lawton for Lovejoy. It was a completed pass, but no gain on the play. Out to Corinthian Coleman. Coleman with his 16th reception on the year. He's got 277 in yards on the season as well. From the right hash mark now. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Trips to the right side, one to the left side. That receiver out there is Keandre Hollywood. Empty backfield now. Two receivers left side. Keandre Hollywood now joins Kevin Henry Jennings in the backfield to the right of him. Trips to the right for the left hash mark. Making the right hash mark. Going left to right. Claps his hand. Hands it off. Hollywood brought down to the backfield. Lovejoy. Two big defensive plays in a row in the first possession. And Bennett Slaughter comes in and really does his name justice as he made a huge hit on Keandre Hollywood in the backfield. A loss of one to the 41-yard line makes it 3rd and 11. Quaylen Farrar out there for the first time today to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. Doubles wide receiver set, two on either side of the formation. 3rd and 11 from the 41-yard line. Takes the snap, drops back, looks right, looks left. Now fires right again. Has advanced the numbers, outside the numbers, caught and close to the first down mark. He's got it. Beautiful pitch and catch from Henry Jennings III to Demiri Cawley. And moving the chains on 3rd and 11 of the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, who are in their black on black uniforms, black jerseys, black pants, gold numbers, white helmets. Lovejoy, white jerseys, black pants with the red striping down the middle and red numbers for them. Snap to Kevin Henry Jennings. Hand off to the right side to Farrar, and Farrar pushing the pile but can't get much. Well, he gets 2 yards. Quaylen Farrar just recently committed to the University of North Texas in Denton, so congratulations to him, showing what he can do with the legs. Gain of 2 on the play to the 26-yard line. 2nd and 8. Right hash mark, left to right, really marching down the field right now. 9:40 on the clock in the first. Scoreless from the Frisco Ford Center. Practice home of the Dallas Cowboys. For all you Cowboys fans out there in North Texas, two receivers to the left side, two to the right. Henry Jennings in the shotgun, sends a man in motion, left to right. That's Randy Reese across the formation. Trips to the right side with Farrar to the right of Henry Jennings. Claps his hands, takes the snap right at him. Soft play action. Pump fakes left, throws left. Has a man down the left sideline and incomplete. It hits the short pylon. And I don't think it would have counted anyway, as the receiver on the left side, that was Cawley, went out of bounds as the referee and line judge actually threw the field judge, I beg your pardon, threw his hat off to indicate that he was out of bounds, so it would have been illegal touching if he grabbed that ball. Yeah, I know a little bit of rules too, folks. I did a little bit of homework on football rules, as you know. Trips to the right side, stack to the far numbers, make it the near numbers. One receiver to the left side, and the whistle come in. On this 3rd and 8 play, we'll see what it is, and Lovejoy calls a timeout. 9:07 on the clock in the first. Scoreless, 3rd and 8 coming. South Oak Cliff with the ball. We'll take a 30-second break here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. If you love your plants like we do here at 92.1 KXEZ, you'll protect them with the quality greenhouse from Smith's Quality Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins, and outdoor decor. You name it. Call Dustin Smith, good friend of KXEZ, 903-268-1694. Again, that number is 903-268-1694. You like Dustin, be glad you made the call. That's Smith Quality Greenhouses. 3rd and 8 coming from the 26-yard line from the right hash mark. They stack trips out to the left side on the numbers, the far side. One receiver to the lone side on the right side, and Henry Jennings in the shotgun with Farrar to the left of him. He takes the snap, high snap, brings it in. Pass and protection, fires to the left side. Lone man at the 23-yard line. Makes a man miss 15-10 and out of bounds around there, but there is a flag at the 19. I'm not quite sure what it was. We'll hear from our referee for the first time. That's Ricky Herron down there, the referee. He might address the crowd.
Holding. Defense. 58. Penalty is declined. Go to play for first down.
Apologies for that mic, folks, but it is a first down for South Oak Cliff. First and goal now for South Oak Cliff from the 8-yard line. Big time penalty for them in their favor. Henry Jennings hands up the middle. DeAndre Hollywood spins up the 5-yard line, dances around outside the left hash mark and down around the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal, and they're moving quickly. Henry Jennings now in the pistol formation. Now it's shotgun. To the right of him is DeAndre Hollywood. Two receivers to the right side into the ballgame. Snap to him. Rides him. Hands off. DeAndre Hollywood stopped before the goal line. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play, but there's a flag right at the line of scrimmage. See what the referee has to say. That's Ricky Herron.
Illegal formation. 5 players lined up in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Too many players lined up in the backfield. Don't see that too often. However, pushes them back from the 2 to the 7. 2nd and goal from that 7-yard line, going left to right. 8:20 on the clock. A lot of time taken off the clock by South Oak Cliff. They take the snap. Henry Jennings pulls it out. Quarterback read. 5-yard line. Goal line. Touchdown, South Oak Cliff. And the Golden Bears strike first. A 7-yard touchdown run by Kevin Henry Jennings. For Jennings, that was his 6th touchdown run on the year. Just nothing but a quarterback read. He saw the edge come in, pulled it, didn't give it to DeAndre Hollywood, and then walked it into the end zone. On for the extra point try. It's up, and it's good. 7-0 early in the first quarter of the quarterfinal round. 8:12 on the clock. The Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff have the early lead over the Lovejoy Leopards on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Seven-yard touchdown run for Kevin Henry Jennings as South Oak Cliff strikes first here from the Ford Center. Jackson Lavender, the deep man for the Lovejoy Leopards. Just a beautiful, beautiful drive. 8:12 on the clock, and it took all that time off the clock as they went, 72 yards on that first drive to the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears as Diego Varela will kick off for South Oak Cliff. And he does. Long kickoff fielded by Lavender at the 11-yard line takes it forward, 15-20 down the outside. The numbers on the right side and the right sideline. The ball came out for a second, it looked like, but he was out of bounds and down. Jackson Lavender with a nice return out near the 30-yard line. And that is where the Lovejoy Leopards.
The ball was fumbled out of bounds. Double play for first down, Lovejoy.
Thank you to the referee, Ricky Heron II, for clarifying that. Hondo Franklin out there, the sophomore, has been fantastic for the Lovejoy Leopards all season long. He comes down the shotgun. They to the right of him. To the left side is Trips, and now they go forward. It was actually a wildcat. It was direct snap to the running back, Noah Nadeau, who tried to get forward for a couple of yards and did. It's 2nd and 8 now. And now we will see Alexander Hondo Franklin out there. Jackson Lavender joins him in the backfield to the left side. Trips to the left side, and man in motion. That's Amari Murdoch. He drops back. Hondo Franklin fires to the left side and low, intended for the receiver, Jackson Lavender. It'll bring up 3rd and 8. 7-0 South Oak Cliff. They scored on their first drive, went 73 yards, and capped it off with a 7-yard touchdown run by Kevin Henry Jennings to make it a one-score game, 7-0. And now Lovejoy, empty backfield for Hondo Franklin. Shifts to the left side, one to the right side. Claps his hands away for the snap. Now he goes forward. Trying to draw them off sides, but couldn't quite get them to jump. Blaine Dropey, the side end of the ball game. Now they stack the outside receivers and leave the slot on the left side. Dropping back to Franklin. Has a lot of time. Steps up. Now evades the tackle. Goes forward. Tucks and runs. Outside the 30 to 35. Outside the right numbers. Did he get the first down? He did. First down, Lovejoy. No, they're saying he's short and stepped out of bounds at around the 37-yard line. So it'll bring up 4th down. And the punt unit comes out. So playing a little bit conservative, more conservative than we saw last week against Mansfield Timberview. Coach Chris Ross is playing. But 4th and 3, not taking any chances in his own territory. DeAndre Hollywood, the deep man for South Oak Cliff, and the punt unit is out. Caden Carlock will do the punting duties for Lovejoy. High snap, but gets it, corrals it. Right-footed kicker gets it into it. Long field punt at the 30-yard line, fielded and brought down quick. And at the 30-yard line, they'll have to go 70 more yards if they want another touchdown. 7:20 on the clock, a 3-and-out for the Lovejoy Leopards, who have been one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in North Texas in the 5A division. Now 7:20 on the clock, 7-0 South Oak Cliff. Golden Bears over the Lovejoy Leopards. It'll be 2 receivers on either side of the formation. In the shotgun is Kevin Henry Jennings. To the right of him is Quaylen Farrar. Takes the snap man in motion, but he hands it to Farrar. Up early goes 30, 35, and dragged down right before the 35 at the 34-yard line. They'll give him that extra yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 from that 35-yard line with 7 minutes approaching. 5 minutes off the clock in the first quarter of this quarterfinal matchup. State quarterfinals. Trips to the right side now. Farrar to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. He's been fantastic. Hands it off to Farrar. Dances around and met right at the line of scrimmage, but powers forward for a couple extra yards to the 38-yard line. Bring up 3rd and short, maybe about 3rd and 2 on the play coming up. Trips to the right side, 3rd and 2 from the 38-yard line. 6.5 to go here in the first quarter of play. 7-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Trips to the right side, one lone receiver to the left side. Randy Reese in motion right to left. He goes out to the slot on the left, just outside the left hash mark, down the seam. Claps his hands as Henry Jennings. He hands it to Farrar, and miscommunication. And down he goes behind the line of scrimmage. He wanted to hand that ball off. Well, actually, he did hand that ball off, but wanted to keep it and pull it out of the gut of Quaylen Farrar, and both of them held on to it, and they were lucky that ball wasn't to the turf. It brings up 4th down, 4th and 2, as they got no gain on the play. They were lucky it wasn't a turnover once again. They're going to go for it. 4th and 2, 5:42 on the clock and counting in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. DeAndre Hollywood joins Henry Jennings in the backfield. From the right hash mark, claps his hands, high snap, drops back, has some time. Here comes the pressure, fires to the right side, caught at the 50, and out of bounds. Beautiful, beautiful pitch and catch to Jamiri Cauley from Henry Jennings. Kevin Henry Jennings had some time with a man in his face coming right at him, delivered a beautiful ball to the outside, and South Oak Cliff gets the first down. Inside Lovejoy territory to the 40-yard line. 5:28 and counting in the first quarter to go. 7-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side. Shotgun snap to Kevin Henry Jennings. Fires down the seam. A beautiful, strong throw to the 40-yard line and dives forward to about the 37 as his receiver, Corinthian Coleman, his second catch of the ball game. Coleman, the 5'7", 150-pound junior. 2 catches for South Oak Cliff already, and Kevin Henry Jennings commanding his troops. DeAndre Hollywood joins him in the backfield to the left. Stack trips receiver to the numbers on the left side, the short side from the left hash mark. Play action. Fires to the bubble screen out to his man once again at the 40. Dances around. The ball comes out, but out of bounds. It was Kylan Mathis who got the ball on a screen with a couple of blockers in front, got a couple of more yards, and at the end the ball came out, but it went out of bounds. You can't fumble it forward, or can you? And they did. First down for South Oak Cliff to the 35-yard line. Church to the left side now. From the left hash mark, lone receiver on their far side, our near side. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Farrar back in the backfield with him. Play action. Drops back. Has some time. Rolls out to the right side. Out of the pocket. Looks to the right. Out of the right hash mark. And has a man on the run. Randy Reese at the 12-yard line. Catches it at the 10. Still on his feet. Dives for the end zone. And down at the 1-yard line. There is a couple of flags on the field, but what a play by Randy Reese. We'll see with the referee here next.
Holding. Offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, you heard Ricky Herron, folks, negate that long play that went 33 yards to the 1-yard line, just shy of the goal line. Instead of being at the 1, first and goal from there, they'll be pushed back to the 44-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20. With 4.5 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. 2 receivers on either side, but stacked very close to each other on the outside of the numbers on each side of the field. Claps his hands with Kevin Henry Jennings. Hands it to Farrar. Bounces around. Hit in the backfield and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Back to the 45-yard line. The Lovejoy defense, credit Reed Jacob right there for stopping him in his tracks. And a nice job by the Lovejoy defense as Chase Bogle came in and also made the tackle. 2nd and 21 from the 45-yard line, going left to right in the middle of the field between the hashes. Trips to the left side, 1 receiver to the right side. Farrar to the left of Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Claps his hands, takes it. Rolls out to the left, has a blocker, throws to the sideline, caught at the 38-yard line. Dances around at the 35, down the left sideline, and out of bounds. First catch of the game for Manny Muhammad. And Muhammad made it a more manageable 3rd and 6. Gets to the 30-yard line. 15-yard pitch and catch from Kevin Henry Jennings to Manny Muhammad. And now stack trips outside the numbers to the left side. 1 lone receiver to the right. Farrar to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings from the left hash mark, going left to right. Claps his hand. Strong throw to the seam and hit at the line of scrimmage and batted down. He had a man wide open. That was Randy Reese, but it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 4th and 6 from the 30-yard line. And South Oak Cliff might go for this. And they're trying to go for the kill shot here early. It's only 7-0 with 3:25 to go in the first quarter. They want to score as much as possible. Here we go. 4th and 6 on the left hash mark. DeAndre Hollywood into the ball game to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. Takes the snap, drops back, tucks it and runs to the left side. Now fires on the run to his man. Catches it at the 18-yard line and out of bounds. First down, South Oak Cliff. Manny Muhammad once again. Nice play by Kevin Henry Jennings as he tucked it right before he was about to get to the line of scrimmage and then tossed it out to the left side. Heads-up play by Kevin Henry Jennings. Accurate throw. He has been great all season long. A 67% passer on the year. That's unheard of, especially with only 2 interceptions. He's great. Trips to the right side, one to the left side. Shotgun, Keandre Hollywood to the left of Kevin Henry Jennings. Quarterback keeper, left side, throws it back to the end zone, and just out of the reach of Manny Muhammad once again. Kind of a broken play, it looked like, as Kevin Henry Jennings was trying to hand it to Keandre Hollywood. Got nowhere, went to the left, and, well, incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Left hash mark, trips right side, one to the left side, that's Muhammad. Hollywood to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. Henry Jennings awaits the snap, approaching 3:13 to go in the first. Drops back, has some time, fires in the middle of the field on the slant, and incomplete. Thrown just behind Randy Reese. It kind of, if you talked to Reese, he would have said he should have caught it. He actually does say that to Henry Jennings, tapping his chest, saying, "That's my bad." It was in and out of his hands, almost into the hands of the defender. Would have been a touchdown. Either way, it's 3rd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Crowd filing in, and a beautiful crowd. Raucous crowd from the Lovejoy side and the South Oak Cliff side. Both teams and both fan bases hungry for a state semifinal berth. 16-yard line, 3rd and 10 from there. Left hash mark, snap. Keandre Hollywood passes it out to the left side, outside the left hash. The numbers, sideline, 10-5, touchdown, South Oak Cliff. Keandre Hollywood. A 16-yard touchdown run for Keandre Hollywood. And it's the 2nd touchdown of the ball game for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Both on the ground, one from Henry Jennings and this one from Keandre Hollywood. It's 15th touchdown on the season. Varela on for the extra point try. It's up and it's in. 14-0, 3:02 on the clock. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy in the quarterfinal round on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. It was a 70-plus yard drive from the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears to extend their lead 14-0 now. That drive capped off by a 16-yard scamper by Keandre Hollywood. And now the Lovejoy Leopards have some ground to make up with 3:02 left to go in the first quarter. Of course, it's a lot of ball game left. However, Lovejoy hasn't found themselves in this sort of situation. I know it's only 14-0. This one kicked off and bounced to the 10-yard line, picked up by Jackson Lavery on the right sideline, the 15, the 20, to the 25-yard line, and met by a pack of Golden Bears near the far sideline. So, like I said, they haven't found themselves in this situation. There's only been one possession on the offensive side for Lovejoy with almost 9 minutes off, or 9+ minutes off the clock in the first. And we'll see Hondo Franklin come out and try to make something happen. He's got his big wide receivers to the left side, 2 of them. 2 stacked to the right side. To the right of him is Noah Nadeau in the shotgun. Man in motion, Jackson Lavender, and somebody jumps. The South Oak Cliff team they're the real deal. I mean, they lost to Duncanville.
Ball start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Thank you, referee Ricky Herron. They lost to Duncanville, and they, on the very first game, and not by like a ton, it was 13 points, and then have won 12 straight ball games as Hondo Franklin drops back, and here comes the pressure, and down he goes. Big time sack by Cortland Kidd. He comes in and makes up a huge play. Actually, it was Billy Walton with the sack. Pushes him back 5 more yards to the 15-yard line. It's 2nd and 20. Hondo Franklin in the shotgun. Nadu behind him. They give it to him. Hit in the backfield, stumbles forward and gains about 2 on the play to the 17-yard line. .2:15 and counting in the first quarter. 14-0. 14-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Empty backfield, trip to the left side. Droopy, the tight end, to the right side of the formation. Dropping back is Franklin. He fires this one, wants it all to the left side. Jump ball to the 50-yard line and incomplete. Intended for his receiver, Parker Livingstone. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. Actually, it'll bring up 4th down and 18. Another 3 and out. Back-to-back on back-to-back possessions for Lovejoy. Can't get anything going against this South Oak Cliff team. It'll be Javon Thomas to return for South Oak Cliff as Caden Carlock does the punting duties. High snap right to him. He goes to the right side, punts it away, high kick out to the 45-yard line. Actually, it's the 50-yard line. Takes a nice hop and comes back a little bit to the 49, but inside South Oak Cliff territory. And a flag comes in around the 28. Referees will get together. Another 3 and out for Lovejoy on offense as Hondo.
Penalty kick. Holding. Number 2 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the penalty kick. First down, South Oak Cliff.
Hondo Franklin couldn't get it going as you heard the 10-yard penalty going to be enforced from the spot of the ball. So it was going to be the 49-yard line. Now will be the 39-yard line. This will be the best field position of the ball game on their 3rd possession of the ball game for South Oak Cliff. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of their own from the right hash mark. DeAndre Hollywood and Henry Jennings in the backfield. Jennings the quarterback, of course. Hollywood the running back on the left. Randy Reese in motion right to left. They give a little toss pass to him. Tries to get outside to the left side on the jet sweep, and down he goes. A 4-yard loss. As Adam Eschler was right there, read it all the way. And a big play on first down for the Lovejoy defense. 1:20 and counting in the first quarter. 14-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. They bring up 2nd and 13 from the 36-yard line. From the left hash mark. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tied into the ball game. Henry Jennings awaits the snap. High snap. Lands it off to Hollywood. Bouncing around. Still bouncing around. Evading tacklers. Past the 40-yard line and down to the 42. Nice gain on 2nd down. Make it a 3rd and 8 now. Make it a 3rd and 7. Under a minute to go. 47 seconds and counting in the first quarter. 17. Make it 14-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. 2 scores on 2 straight possessions, on 2 opening possessions for South Oak Cliff. In the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end and a running back to the left of Henry Jennings. Dropping back after the play action. Gets out of the pocket to the right. Fires on the run to the right side. Caught at the 40-yard line. Outside the numbers to the right. Down the sideline. Randy Reese. 5. Hit it the end zone. And touchdown, South Oak Cliff. That was all Kevin Henry Jennings. Evading tacklers. Dancing around to the pocket, finding space, and finding his star wide receiver, Randy Reese, at the 40-yard line and dancing around to the end zone and outracing everybody. And tucked it inside the front pylon for a touchdown. For the 3rd touchdown of the ball game for South Oak Cliff in 3 possessions. Gorilla puts it up and in, and it's 21-0. 20 seconds to go in the first on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ, a 61-yard touchdown drive from the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears makes it a 21-0 game that was capped off by a big-time pitch and catch from Kevin Henry Jennings to Randy Reese. And with 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Lovejoy's in a hole. Squib kick out to the 20-yard line, bounces up, fielded at the 18, dancing around to the 27, spinning around to the 30-yard line, and he goes past the 30 and down right there. That was Dylan McGee. 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter, 21-0. Lovejoy's got to get something going. They can't let South Oak Cliff get in some sort of groove, and well, really they already are. Hondo Franklin marches his troops back out there. Lane Droopy to the left of the formation at the tight end. Noah Nadu to the right of Hondo Franklin in a shotgun. One receiver to the right, to the left side. Awaits the snap, first and 10 from the 31-yard line. 15 seconds to go in the first. They hand it to Nadu up the middle, puts his shoulder down and runs through a couple of Golden Bears and through his tackles for a gain of 2 on the play. They're only going to give him 1 actually. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 32, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter. 21-0. South Oak Cliff came out guns blazing. The Golden Bears has a 3-touchdown lead over the Lovejoy Leopards. Second quarter straight ahead when we come back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Start of the second quarter now, 21-0. The Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Hand off to the left side for Noah Nadu. Gets to the 35-yard line, and at the 36 he'll go to bring up 3rd and medium yardage, 3rd and 5. Lovejoy down big early. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. I mean, that's some pace to keep up with. Play action now, 3rd and 5. On the run, toss out to the 35-yard line, past the 40, and a first down. The first down of the ball game for the Lovejoy Leopards. Kind of a screen jet sweep pass to Kyle Parker. And they get their first down, 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Nadu to the right. Puts his shoulder down and gets to the 41-yard line. Gain of about 2 on the play. Bring it up 2nd and 8 from the 46-yard line, going left to right now are the Lovejoy Leopards, wearing their white jerseys with red numbers and black pants with some red and white stripes down the side. Black helmet for them. Stack trips to the right side, stack doubles to the right side. Now 2 receivers to the left side, man in motion. Hondo Franklin takes it, fires to Jackson Lavender to the left side and has his first catch of the ball game, but a gain of 3 on the play to the 49-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 5, 21-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy here in the quarterfinal round, the 4th round of the Texas High School Playoffs 5A Division II. 10:44 on the clock in the second quarter. 2 receivers on the other side of the formation. Man in motion, right to left. That's Jack Livingstone. Low snap to Hondo Franklin. Fires to the right side and incomplete. But he threw it right at the defensive back, Javon Thomas, and he dove for it but couldn't get it. It'll bring up 4th and 5. Franklin looking off today. He threw it in between the 2 receivers, the 2 brothers, Jack and Parker Livingstone, and kind of threw it to no one. It'll bring up 4th and 5. We'll see what Coach Chris Ross wants to do. And slowly getting to the line. They've got some time, 17 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers on the other side. They're going for it. 4th and 5 from the 49-yard line. There's the snap. Hondo Franklin looks left, fires left, jump ball, incomplete. Intended for Jackson Lavender. On the coverage for South Oak Cliff was David Sproul. And it's a turnover on downs. Lovejoy gets their first down of the ball game and couldn't do anything with it. The South Oak Cliff defense all over the receivers in the secondary. And Hondo Franklin can't make a play and can't make something happen for the Leopards. So Kevin Henry Jennings, who's been making things happen all game long, comes out. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left side with Quaylen Farrar to the left of him in the shotgun. Henry Jennings, play action, drops back, plenty of time, fires right, catches at the 40-yard line and out of bounds. A 10-yard gain near the first down marker. Pitch and catch out to Kylan Mathis. And they're going to mark him just short of the first down at the 40-yard line, but inside Lovejoy territory. 2nd and 1 from the 40. Tied into the ball game. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quaylen Furr on the left of Henry Jennings. They hand it to him. Dances around at the goal line. The line of scrimmage. Bounces around. Gets the first down past the 35-yard line to the 34. Going right to left on the right hash mark are the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. We saw them play a couple weeks ago at Globe Life Field in Arlington as they played Frisco for the second, making the third time. The third time in 4 years. They won that game. Now they take it down Aledo, the biggest game of their program history last week, and are on a roll right now. Quaylen Farrar up the middle, right down the right hash, and into the 30-yard line. Gain of 3, making it 2nd and 7 from that 30. I mean, South Oak Cliff hasn't reached the next round coming up, the 5th round, the state semifinal, since 1970. They haven't been 13-1 since 1970. They're 12-1 right now, looking for that 13th win, but it's early. 21-0 to score. Dropping back is Kevin Henry Jennings. Cuts and runs, has some space and knocked down. Big-time play and a big-time sack by Dylan McGee. They needed that one. Henry Jennings stepped up in the pocket, and Dylan McGee took the chance and sacked him. 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9 now from the 32. 9-10 and counting. Left in the first half to go. Taking their time, now ready to go. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right, tied into the ball game. DeAndre Hollywood in the ball game as well. To the left of Kevin Henry Jennings. Takes the snap, drops back, swing pass to Hollywood. Left side, 35-30, 25, puts his shoulder down, and man, DeAndre Hollywood. That's a strong runner after the catch, and he gets the first down. South Oak Cliff converting a 3rd and 9 on a swing pass out to Keandre Hollywood. Extra lineman into the ball game. That's Jaden Rowe for South Oak Cliff. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side. Hollywood to the right of Henry Jennings in the shotgun from the left hash mark. Takes the snap, hands it to Hollywood. Hollywood from left to right, cuts it back to the right side to the middle of the field and down at the 20. Gain of 2 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 8 with 8:15 and counting to go in the second quarter, and a timeout by Lovejoy.
Lovejoy's second charge timeout of the first half.
8:14 on the clock in the second, 21-0. The Golden Bears threatening South Oak Cliff with a lead over Lovejoy on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Sponsors for today's ball game include Preston Trail Farm Store, Smith Quality Greenhouses, Collin County Feed and Seed in downtown McKinney, and Hickman Creations, vintage cars and trucks, and the friendly folks at the Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks to our longtime sponsors, Grayson Collin Electric. 8:14 on the clock in the second quarter, 21-0, the Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff over the Lovejoy Leopards. 2nd and 8 coming from the 20-yard line. 2 receivers on the left side, now man in motion. Randy Reese, shotgun snap to Henry Jennings, hands it to Farrar, up the middle and upended around the 18-yard line, a gain of 2. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 with 8 minutes to go in the first half of play. South Oak Cliff really dominating this first half with 3 first-quarter touchdowns. Yes, 3 first-quarter touchdowns. One was both were very long drives. The first 2 were 2 70-plus yard drives. The other was a 60-plus yard drive, 61. Man in motion right to left. Randy Reese has a touchdown catch in this ball game. Hand off to Farrar. The North Texas commit powers his way to the 15-yard line. They won't get the first down as it's another gain of 2 yards. It'll bring up 4th and 3. 3-yard gain, 4th and 3 coming, and it looks like South Oak Cliff is going to keep their offense out there on the field. Seven to 16 to go here in the first half of play. 21-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy, milking the clock right now for what it's worth, for all it's worth. Touchdown run by Kevin Henry Jennings, DeAndre Hollywood, and a touchdown pass from Henry Jennings to Randy Reese. Gets us where we're at right now, under 7 minutes to go here, and looks like they're going to mark this one down all as far as they possibly can.
South Oak Cliff's first starts timeout of the first half.
And they do indeed take their first timeout. Coach Jason Todd burns that one. If you love plants like we do here at KXEZ, you'll protect them with a quality greenhouse from Smith Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins and outdoor decor, you name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. Again, that number is 903-268-1694. You'll like Dustin, of course, and be glad you made the call. Friend of the Possum here at KXEZ. That's Smith's Quality Greenhouses. And don't forget, folks, if you can't get us here at 92.1 KXEZ, you can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com or the TuneIn Radio app. Click on 92.1 KXEZ and hear us anywhere in the world. So tell those out-of-town family and friends to tune in to TuneIn Radio. Out of the timeout now, 21-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy, 6:54 on the clock in the second quarter. 4th and 2, they're going to go for it. They've already converted once on 4th down, trying to do it again. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side, tied into the ball game. Farrar to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. Brought to the right side, Farrar to the left, back around, and brought down by the face mask, and a first down for South Oak Cliff. On the slant round, a pitch and catch.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 5. Penalty being forced half the distance to the goal. First down.
It was Jamiri Cawley who got that reception, got the first down, and was brought down by the face mask. An ugly-looking tackle. Get South Oak Cliff just a little bit closer. It'll put them at the 3-yard line. Make it the 4. 21-0. 6:40 to go in the first half of play. South Oak Cliff with a huge lead, trying to extend it to a 4-possession ball game. Farrar to the left of Henry Jennings. Stacked receivers to the left side, tied into the ball game. 1 receiver to the right side. Shotgun snap, high snap. Farrar up the middle he goes, dances around and has a hole. Touchdown, South Oak Cliff. Waylon Farrar, an outstanding running back who just committed to the University of North Texas, gets a touchdown run of 4 yards after the 4th and 2 conversion, and then a face mask pushed him closer. And the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears strike once again. Diego Varela on for the extra point try. The holder is Tedrick Williams, backup quarterback. Puts his knee down at the 10-yard line. Varela puts his right foot into it, and it's up and in. 28-0, 6:20 on the clock in the second quarter. South Oak Cliff dominating on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Touchdown run by Clinton Farrar makes it Clinton Farrar makes it 28-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy with 6:20 to go in the first quarter of play. Don't miss the UIL Football State Championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at UILTexas.org. I tell you, folks, we're on the side of South Oak Cliff over here, the home side. And the crowd and the band, the student section, everybody going absolutely crazy. It's one of the best seasons they've had since the 70s. So 50 years, 51 seasons have passed. There hasn't been a season better than this one for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, and they're putting together quite the show here at the Frisco Ford Center. At the Star. Varela on the kickoff now with a 28-point lead. Lavender back. Coming up and going to field it at the 15-yard line. Takes it up to the right hash mark. Cuts it up to the right side. Has some space. 35-40. Outside the numbers on the right sideline. The 50. Inside South Oak Cliff territory. And out of bounds he goes. At the 45, although there's a flag down. around where he was pushed out of bounds. We'll see what it is. Jackson Lavender doing what he does best, making plays happen with the ball in his hands.
Outside, kicking team, number 85. 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. First down, Lovejoy.
So just a little bit of insult to injury right there as Jackson Lavender had a huge hole, ran down the right side, out of bounds, and the Lovejoy Leopards have their best field position of the ball game and actually have a chance to get on the board and cut in to the 28-point lead and deficit. Hondo Franklin from the right hash mark and the 40-yard line. First and 10. Snap to him. Hands it to Nadeau. Into the line of scrimmage, and that defense of the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears is right there. Jordan Mays comes in, the big 6'2", 220 senior. Makes a huge play for South Oak Cliff on first down. Nadeau fell forward for a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 8. Tied into the ball game for Lovejoy. That's Will Branham. And up to Nadeau. Right side. Dances around, and there's the big defensive line. But look at Nadeau keeping his feet moving. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage and powered his way forward for a gain of 2 on the play. Make it 3 to the 36-yard line. Nice run by Noah Nadeau. 3rd and 6. 5.5 to go in the first half of play. 28-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. 2 receivers on the left side and 2 tight ends into the ball game, and a timeout being called by Chris Ross, the final timeout.
Lovejoy, 3rd and final charge timeout of the first half.
Beat you to it by a second there, Mr. Ricky Herron. 92.1 FM KXEZ and 95.3 FM KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. We thank you for your support and obviously all your time listening in. Also, KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggie football team season is done, but they're still awaiting their potential bowl game announcement if they haven't already. I'll update you on that here in a bit later on. Keep an eye out because we'll have their full coverage for you on 92.1 KXEZ. Also, the men's basketball team for A&M won't play again until December 11th. They play host to TCU at 5:30, pregame at 5 o'clock. We'll have our full coverage for you on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, your Metroplex home for Texas A&M athletics. 3rd and 6 now. From the 36-yard line. Here comes the blitz. It looks like the pressure. No. Hondo Franklin has some time. Rolls out to the right side. Tucks it and run to the 35-yard line. Dancing around. Jumps over a tackler and across to the 33-yard line, but he's short of the first down. 4th and 3 now from that 33. They might go for it. We'll see what Coach Chris Ross wants to do. Branham comes into the ball game for Amari Murdoch. And Nadeau's going to come out for Peyton Pierce. No, actually, it's Hondo Franklin coming out, and Peyton Pierce, who we saw come up huge last week a few times for Lovejoy, comes into the ballgame. 4th and 3, already a big possession and a big play right here on 4th down. 4th and 3 from the 33-yard line. Peyton Pierce keeps it. 30-yard line, 25, still moving the pile, 20, and gets it to the 16. Peyton Pierce. That man is unstoppable. He's a transfer from Allen High School, and they're moving quickly. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. First down for Lovejoy, and a timeout coming in by South Oak Cliff.
South Oak Cliff, 2nd charge timeout of the first half.
Peyton Pierce last week, let me tell you, he had a touchdown run to start the ball game off, as there was a turnover inside the 5-yard line by Mansfield Timberview. He had a touchdown run in that ball game. Then there was a crucial 4th and 4 last week that he converted by himself, powering through just like he did right now just a second ago. And then another 4th and 4 play where Peyton Pierce faked the power run quarterback keeper on the Wildcat and tossed it out to Amari Murdoch for a 33-yard touchdown pass to give Lovejoy the lead over Mansfield Timberview and propel them into this round. So Peyton Pierce is the real deal, folks. He is by far the catalyst for this Lovejoy team. And he comes into those situations, and he does not shy away from anything. Peyton Pierce also, he's got offers from Arkansas, Missouri, Virginia Tech, you name it. He's been on the radar of a lot of good D1 programs. He is that dude. And he's going to come back out there with Dylan McGee. First time we've seen him in the backfield on the offensive side. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. 4:18 and counting here in the second quarter. Snaps to Peyton Pierce, puts his shoulder down and gets it to the 15-yard line. And there is a little bit of extracurricular, but no flag. Letting the boys play just a sec. 4 minutes approaching here in the second quarter. And they're going to leave Pierce out there. McGee will come out. No, Pierce is coming out with McGee. Franklin and Nadeau replace both of them. Tight ends in the ball game are Droopy and Branham. 2 receivers to the left side, none to the right side. From the right hash mark, Hondo Franklin in the shotgun, Nadeau to the right of him. Play action, looks left, rushed out of the pocket to the right side, puts it under his shoulder, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. No, he's a yard short. Big time sack for South Oak Cliff. Portland Kidd came in, the 5'10", 260 junior, to make that sack and that play. Pushes him back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. The original line of scrimmage. 16-yard line. Lovejoy needs this. They really do to stay in this ball game. 2 receivers to the left, 2 tight ends to the ball game. Nadeau to the right of Franklin. Hondo claps his hand, takes the snap. Play action. Looks left, fires left. Has his man caught by Jackson Lavender. 10-yard line. Dives forward. Gets to the 9, and a nice pitch and catch from Hondo Franklin to Jackson Lavender. It was an over-the-shoulder catch, one-handed down the left sideline, and makes it a more manageable 3rd down. Actually, it's going to be 4th down, 4th and 3. On the left hash mark now, they're going under center. 2 fullbacks, 1 tight end. And whistles come in as, I don't know if it's a timeout or a chain gang error. No, it's not a timeout. They thought they were going to call one, but didn't. There's a problem with the chains over there. They got tangled up. The referee, Ricky Herron, calling everybody out back to the field as everyone was dispersing to the sidelines. Now we're ready to go. 4th and 3 from the 9-yard line. The line to gain is the 6, 2:57 and counting here in the second quarter of play. 28-0 South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy, and Lovejoy needs it. 4th and 3. Hondo Franklin under center. 2 tight ends in the ball game. 1 running back. That's Jackson Lavender in the backfield. Hondo Franklin. Now they spread it out to the wide side. Shotgun. Franklin drops back, takes the snap, man in motion, looks to the right side, now the left, fires to the first down marker and incomplete. Intended for the receiver, the tight end, Elaine Droopy, but it was low. And give credit to Abdul Muhammad, the 5'8", 170 junior for South Oak Cliff, on making a play on the ball, and Droopy couldn't get a clean look. It was a short throw, a low throw, and the tight end couldn't handle it. And a turnover on down goes to South Oak Cliff and Kevin Henry Jennings. It'll be 1st and 10 for the 9-yard line, up 28-0 of the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears over the Lovejoy Leopards. 2:51 on the clock in the second. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. To the right of him is Quaylen Farrar. Tight end, and a flag comes in. Looked like someone jumped up there. And it will be a false start.
False start. Offense, number 75. After this to the goal. Remains 1st down.
Really the first penalty on the offensive side we've seen for South Oak Cliff. They played a clean game. I mean, they're up 28-0, so it's got to be a little bit clean, at least. Ball will be spotted at the 5-yard line. 1st and 14 on the 5. On the right hash mark, 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends in the ball game. Hands off to Farrar, up the middle, dances around, and hit in the backfield. They're going to give him forward progress to the 4-yard line, so a loss of 1 on the play. And a nice play on defense for the Lovejoy Leopards. Give credit to Bennett Slaughter, his second big-time tackle for loss in this ball game. Makes it 2nd and 15 with 2:25 and counting in the second quarter. Running down the time as much as possible is South Oak Cliff. One receiver to the left side, the near side. Two receivers to the right side from the right hash mark. Farrar to the right of Henry Jennings. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Looks left, fires left. Has a man caught at the, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Jamiri Colley. It was a clean run, and if he would have caught that ball, had some open space and had a chance to break a big one. I mean, Henry Jennings put it right in the chest of his receiver and just couldn't be handled. That'll bring up third down, 3rd and 15, 28-0, 2:07 on the clock in the first half of play to go. Stay with us at halftime, folks. I'll talk to you about the first half, run the numbers for you, and see what we've got. And maybe the second half has something special. And off the middle of Country Hollywood to the left side, breaks it out to the left hash mark, still on his feet, and man, that is a strong runner as they stop him with forward progress to the 9-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up fourth down. 4th and 10 from the 9-yard line, deep in their own territory, as South Oak Cliff looks like they're going to punt for the first time all game long. With 1:38 and counting in the second half, or in the second quarter, I should say. As they're going to take a timeout with that one timeout left.
South Oak Cliff 3rd and final charge timeout of the first half.
There it is, with 1:19 to go in the first half. Kevin Henry Jennings has been fantastic today. Just outstanding numbers from the senior. 14 of 18. That's 78% completion percentage. 201 yards through the air and 1 touchdown pass. He's also got 2 rushes for 1 touchdown. DeAndre Hollywood, 5 touches for 29 yards and a touchdown. And Quaylen Farrar, 11 touches for 27 yards. He's got, Kevin Henry Jennings has 3 receivers with 3 receptions and over 25 yards. That's Randy Reese with a touchdown catch, Jamiri Colley, and Corinthian Coleman. Coming out of the timeout now, 4th and 10. And they're going to go for it. There is a deep man, Jackson Lavender, deep for South Oak Cliff, and now Henry Jennings will kick 7 yards back. The snap, Farrar will kick it away, and a nice punt from the goal line all the way hit down to the 45-yard line. My goodness, it's down inside the 30, and what a punt from Quaylen Farrar, but there is a flag on the field. Right now, it will end up as a 70-yard punt. Maybe a 60-yard punt.
Holding. Return team number 7.
Wow.
Penalty being forced from the end of the kick. First down, Lovejoy.
Talk about flipping the field position. I mean, ridiculous. Ball spot at the 10-yard line, and Quaylen Farrar on kind of a quick kick almost. Gets it to roll inside the 30 and then tack on more yardage as the ball is going to be spotted. And the referee is done spotting it. The ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line, inside the 20, at the 19. So all told, flipping the field position of about 70-something yards, folks. That's ridiculous. And off to Nadeau, bounces around the left hash mark, and gets drugged down inside. Noah Nadeau, first play of this possession, goes for a first down, and 1 minute.
Timeout due to injury.
There is someone on the field down for South Oak Cliff, and they'll check on him. It looks like he's making his way up and to the sideline, so let's hope he's okay. 1 minute, 2 seconds on the clock left in the first half of play. 28-0, South Oak Cliff with the lead. They scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter as they were firing on all cylinders on every aspect of the ball game. Offensively, they got the ball first, so they scored first. 3-and-out force to Lovejoy. And then another quick, and I say quick, it was a long drive, actually. 70-plus yards per touchdown on that drive. Forced another 3-and-out. Then went 60-plus yards for another touchdown and forced another 3-and-out. They are fantastic. This is a team that's going to be dangerous going forward if Lovejoy can't make up some ground here. I know it's only the first half as Hondo Franklin fires to the right side, topped by Jackson Lavender at the 40-yard line. The 45 goes to the midfield mark and down inside South Oak Cliff territory to the 49-yard line. Got to move quickly. 48 seconds and counting in the second half. In the second quarter, first half of play. Doubles wide receiver set. Nadu to the right of Hondo Franklin. Awaits the snap with 40 seconds. Takes the snap. Drops back. Has some time. It has a clean pocket. Fires over the middle. Left hash mark and incomplete. Intended for the receiver, Amari Murdoch. But it was Javon Thomas coming in. Manny Muhammad. Manny Muhammad came in to break that play up. It's 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. Two receivers on either side of the formation. Hondo claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it off. Nadu dancing around, empowers forward across the line of scrimmage to the 45-yard line. Kind of an odd play call. Conservative, really. 20 seconds left to go. They're trying to move quickly. 28-0. Hondo, 3rd and 6 from the 45-yard line. Takes the snap, drops back, looks right, fire, wants it all. No, he drops it. Goes to the right side and just throws it out of bounds. When I say drops it, I meant he drops his shoulder. I should have said tucks it. Went to the right side, and before the pressure can get to him, throws it out of bounds. 8 seconds left in the first half, 4th and 6. The ball is spotted at the 45-yard line, 28-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Two receivers to the left side, two to the right side. Nadu to the right of Hondo Franklin. I mean, they got to go for the end zone right here, don't they? Talking to you folks. Fires to the left side, caught at the 35-yard line, and doesn't get out of bounds. Yes, he does with 1 second to go. No, he didn't get out of bounds. I thought he did at first glance as the referee was waving the clock to stop. And that'll do it for the first half of play. They try to do a quick out, get him a little bit closer, and
please reset 1 second on the game clock and start on the ready.
And they are going to start. And they do snap it, but
the clock is fired. Fired to the snap. That is the end of the first half.
There you go, folks. They stopped the clock because they got the first down, but didn't stop it because he went out of bounds. 1 second left, and they didn't get the playoff, although Lovejoy was lined up, ready to go, but just a second too late. And that's the first half, folks. It's not been exactly what you Lovejoy fans want to see. But, I mean, if they did it to them, Lovejoy can do it right back in the second half. 28-0. South Oak Cliff dominating the first half. Back at halftime, you'll hear me talk about the first half and what's to come and the games that are happening all over the state of Texas. We've got amazing games that have been going on. 28-0, the halftime score at the Frisco Ford Center at the Star, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. When we come back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Halftime score here at the Ford Center in Frisco, 28-0. South Oak Cliff with a dominant performance in the first half over a Lovejoy team that is considered one of the best teams in the state. Well, you know what? South Oak Cliff is considered pretty good when you go and take down a four consecutive state championship winner as they did last week against Aledo. I'll get into those numbers here in a bit later on in this halftime show. And this Lovejoy team putting up close to 500 yards a game, and they've got 0 points. 0 points and only 53 total yards in that first half. 261 total yards for South Oak Cliff. Only 2 first downs for Lovejoy, too. One coming off a power run by Peyton Pierce. 60 rushing yards for South Oak Cliff to 35 of Lovejoy. Only 18 passing yards, and that's their strong suit all year long. That's been their strong suit all year long, as Hondo Franklin has not found a groove and hasn't had much time to find any sort of groove at all. As opposed to Kevin Henry Jennings for South Oak Cliff, who's got 201 passing yards on the day. 14 of 18. That's 78% completion percentage. That's just crazy. 1 touchdown pass on the ground for South Oak Cliff. Keandre Hollywood, 5 attempts for 29 yards and a touchdown. Quaylon Farrar just committed to University of North Texas in Denton. 27 yards for a touchdown, and Kevin Henry Jennings has rushed it twice and has a touchdown score. He opened up the scoring, actually, for the game for South Oak Cliff. Randy Reese, 3 receptions, 85 yards and a touchdown. Jamari Cawley, 3 receptions, 38 yards. Manny Muhammad, 2 for 29. Corinthian Coleman, 3 for 26. Kylan Mathis, 2 for 12. And Keandre Hollywood has 1 for 11. My point being, the way I'm saying it like that is because he's spreading it around. He's throwing to everybody who's available. Kevin Henry Jennings, as the halftime show at the Ford Center is getting crazy, as South Oak Cliff's amazing award-winning band and drum major comes out and is putting on a show for this crowd at the Ford Center. 6 receivers have been involved in the passing game for South Oak Cliff. Quite the opposite side for Lovejoy. 3 of 8 for Alexander Hondo Franklin, 18 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Peyton Pierce is the leading rusher on 2 attempts for 18. Noah Nadu, 7 for 15, and Alexander Hondo Franklin, 4 for 2. Lavender's got a couple of catches for 10 yards, and Kyle Parker, 1 reception for 8 yards. Lavender is that SMU commit, so that's very astounding, and a credit to the defensive backs for South Oak Cliff to they hold those receivers in check. 28-0, the halftime score at the Ford Center in Frisco. Back more at our halftime show when it continues on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Sponsors for today's game: Preston Trail Farm Store, Smith Quality Greenhouses, Collin County Seed and Feed in downtown McKinney, Hickman Creations, Vintage Cars and Trucks. Thank you for our sponsors for today's game. And speaking of Smith Quality Greenhouses, if you love your plants like we do over here at KXEZ, you're going to protect them with a quality greenhouse from Smith Quality Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins, and outdoor decor, you name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. Again, Dustin Smith at 903-268, 1694, 903-268-1694. You're like Dustin and be glad you made the call. Again, that's Smith Quality Greenhouses. Also, the friendly folks at Grayson Kahn Electric Cooperative want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Longtime sponsor, Grayson Kahn Electric. A Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas from then. And don't forget, folks, if you can't get us here at 92.1 KXEZ, you can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com or the TuneIn Radio app. Click on 92.1 KXEZ and hear us anywhere in the world. So with these playoff games coming up, even more, especially when we get further down, tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. 28-0, the halftime score at the Frisco Ford Center at the Star, practice home of the Dallas Cowboys. Last week, the Lovejoy Leopards took on Mansfield Timberview. If you listen to KXEZ, we called that game last week back here at the Ford Center. 319 yards of total offense for for Lovejoy. And it was a neck-and-neck game, an actual absolute barn burner. It was a beautiful, beautiful football game to watch. There wasn't many penalties, 4 for Lovejoy, 5 for Timberview. And Alexander Hondo Franklin, again, he didn't have the type of, I guess numbers in terms of efficiency. Again, he didn't, like today, last week is the same story. 13 of 30 last week for Hondo Franklin. for 173 yards, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. Noah Nadeau led the ground attack with 66 yards. Peyton Pierce was the hero. A rushing touchdown, 16 total yards on the ground, and a touchdown pass of 25 yards from Peyton Pierce on a big-time fourth down play to give Lovejoy the lead late in the fourth quarter. Parker Livingstone, 44 yards with 2 receptions, and Jackson Lavender, 8 receptions for 80 yards. They were great on offense. Defensively, they stepped up, and today I haven't quite seen that. And yeah, they're playing a tougher opponent in South Oak Cliff, but folks, this is a great team. This South Oak Cliff team coming in ranked 5th in Division 5A Division 2, I should say. Last week against Aledo, the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Like I mentioned a few times already, it had to be, and it was the biggest win in program history. And it was a game where Kevin Henry Jennings put up 170 yards through the air and 42 yards on the ground. He threw for 2 touchdown passes. He was 10 of 18, and that's actually a low efficiency rating for him in the completion percentage department. Quaylen Farrar, 4 carries for 42 yards, and Kevin Henry Jennings had those 42 yards. Kendra Hollywood, 35 yards, and really 2 touchdowns for South Oak Cliff. It was 27-14 at halftime, and then it was 28-27. Right as time was going to expire, it was about 2 minutes left in the ball game. Touchdown pass from Kevin Henry Jennings to Randy Reese took the lead, or grabbed the lead for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. It was a game, both of those games last week on either side for Lovejoy and South Oak Cliff were absolute beautiful and close ball games, and right now quite the opposite. 28-0, South Oak Cliff has the lead over Lovejoy. And we're going to see if Lovejoy can do something to clean that deficit up when we come back. For more on the halftime show coming up on 92.1 FM KXEZ. .91 FM KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggie football team season is done, but are still awaiting their potential bowl game announcement. Keep an eye out, because we'll have our full coverage for you of that game on KXEZ. Texas A&M men's basketball is going to play December 11th. They'll play host to TCU at 5:30 p.m. and pregame at 5. We'll have our full coverage for you for both of those games here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, your Metroplex leader and home for Texas A&M athletics. And we'll continue our coverage of Texas high school football playoffs next week, as we're going to follow the Gunter Tigers as they took down a Holiday yesterday, as we had it on last night. They took down Holiday, and they'll take on Lubbock Roosevelt next Friday at 7 p.m. in Abilene. Scott Powell will have that call for you, so be sure to tune in to 92.1 KXEZ, your Metroplex leader in high school sports. Thanks to our sponsors once again, Preston Trail Farm Store, Smith Quality Greenhouses, Collin County Feed and Seed in downtown McKinney, and Hickman Creations, vintage cars and trucks. There is this time of year, playoffs are in full swing, getting down to the nitty-gritty going into the state semifinals. We've got some scores from around Texas. We covered Pleasant Grove versus Quinlan Ford last week, and they just lost to Gilmer 36-15. So Gilmer headed to the state semifinals once again, and they've become one of those powerhouses as of late to keep grinding it out throughout the playoffs. From Allen and Southlake were at halftime, and Southlake had a 34-14 lead over the Allen Eagles. And folks, that Southlake team is pretty dangerous, to say the least, especially over an Allen school that was co-champions with these Lovejoy Leopards during the regular season. We also have at the Frisco Ford Center as I'm coming to you live from there. Next is going to be DeSoto and Duncanville. Crazy game with two historic teams. Obviously, we won't call it, but we will keep you updated next week when we come back, because that is going to be a crazy, crazy matchup. 28-0, the Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy here at halftime at the Frisco Ford Center. Practice home with the Dallas Cowboys back in a bit as the second half is straight ahead on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back at 92.1 FM KXEZ, halftime here at the Ford Center in Frisco. 28-0 is the halftime score as the Lovejoy Leopards face a huge deficit to the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. The only good news right now is that they are going to get the ball to start the second half. A couple of things to mention about this Lovejoy team that I always found, or I try to find. Jackson Lavender, SMU commit. His father, Jason Lavender, is the co-offensive coordinator here for Lovejoy. He also was a former Texas Tech wide receiver, Jason Lavender was. Peyton Pierce, I've told you before, has got offers from Arkansas, Missouri, and Virginia Tech. And all four of the receivers hold D1 offers. Jackson Lavender committed to SMU. And he's got offers from Texas Tech, TCU, Kansas. I mean, Hondo Franklin has got a lot of weapons to throw to, and the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears have just really dissolved anything that they've been up to or try to get up to. Kyle Parker has hold offers from Pitt, Ohio, and Central Michigan. Parker Livingstone holds offers from Arkansas, Tennessee, and Pitt. And Amari Murdoch has offers from the Air Force and UConn. Dylan McGee, who's had a great game. He's had a great couple of weeks. I want to tell you something that always, every time I hear it and think about it, I find it so amusing and awesome. Dylan McGee is a nationally ranked lacrosse player, and he is committed to Ohio State for lacrosse. He is that is something that is definitely a fact to always have with you, especially football. I mean, a lot of contact in lacrosse. A little less than football. However, you can really see him move around as he's headed out to Ohio State as the Lovejoy Leopards take the field, coming out of their tunnel, as do the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Also, the corner, Jaden Chester, hasn't been a big factor today for Lovejoy, but he is the younger cousin of Michael Crabtree and has an offer from Ohio. And Jagger Shanley, linebacker, he's the son of Scott Shanley, who is a 10-year NFL linebacker, who's a top 10 all-time in tackles for the Saints in Saints history. He also won a Super Bowl with the Saints when they did. And he's also the 8th grade head coach and the Lovejoy ISD. Just a couple of fun facts that I wanted to share with you about this Lovejoy Leopard team before we get back into action. 28-0 is the halftime score, and both teams huddled up and ready to go. South Oak Cliff is going to kick off to start the second half, and Lovejoy will get their first possession of the second half. They won the toss and elected to kick off. Quick reminder, 261 yards of total offense for South Oak Cliff to just 53 for Lovejoy. And that's a Lovejoy team averaging 441 yards per game, 258 through the air, 182 on the ground, and 49 points a game on the season. And South Oak Cliff is just making them look silly. But that was the first half. New half, new mindset. Coming out of the halftime locker room, Coach Chris Ross had to give some sort of inspiration to his team, and we'll see exactly how well that worked out. As Varela lining up after he sets the ball down. The deep man, Jackson Lavender, with his heels at the 10-yard line. Waits for the kick. And here we go. on for the second half of play. Fielded at the 10-yard line, going forward. Jackson Lavender down the right sideline and tripped up at the 30-yard line. That is where the Lovejoy Leopards will start their first possession of the second half. From the right hash mark at the 31-yard line for Hondo Franklin. That first half, he only completed 3 passes on 8 attempts, 18 yards for him. So we're going to see a lot of changes, I think, hopefully in adjustment. And speaking of that, for the first time getting in the ball game in the backfield is Matthew Maynard. Out to the right side, Jackson Lavender's caught it. Fourth catch, fourth completion for Hondo Franklin. Third catch of the ball game for Jackson Lavender goes for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line. They get the 34, no, the 33. 2 of the receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Noah Nadeau back into the ball game. No, it's still Maynard. Dropping back is Franklin. Looks to the right, now looks to the left, and then can't go anywhere. And the defensive line once again for South Oak Cliff comes up big. 3rd sack of the ball game for them. And in to make that disruption again was Cortland Kidd, making his presence felt all game long. Tied into the ball game, trips to the left side. Maynard to the right of Franklin. Franklin drops back, looks left, fires left to the far sideline, cut to the 40-yard line, and out of bounds. First down for Lovejoy. That's a good sign. Parker Livingstone, who had a touchdown catch last week, hauls this one in, reaches forward for the first down. It's 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Left hash mark. Going from our left to right. And the Lovejoy Leopards trips to the right side, tied into the ball game. That's Troopy. And off to Nadeau, dancing around the backfield and then hit down. Big time hit in the backfield and a loss of 1 on the play to the 40. It was Zaid Abdur-Rashid, the 6'3", 230 senior, making that play in the backfield. Doubles wide receiver set now, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Nadeau to the left of Hondo Franklin. Claps his hands, takes the snap, play action, drops back, looks right, fires right, has Lavender, cut to the 45, dances around outside the right numbers at the 50 and pulled out of bounds right around the first down marker at the 50-yard line. Dangerous pass from Hondo Franklin. It was almost picked off by Jordan Myers. Actually, it was Kyron Chambers. But it's a first down for Lovejoy. 2 first downs. That matches their total in the first half. They got it on this first drive. Two receivers on either side of the formation. Livingstone, Murdoch, Lavender, and Branham. From left to right, from the right hash mark. Franklin hands off to Nadeau. Has a hole, but quickly closed up as the South Cliff defensive line was all over it, as they have been all game long. Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9 from the 48-yard line, going left to right in South Oak Cliff territory. Tied into the ball game. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right side. Franklin in the shotgun, takes the snap, no, hands it off. And Nadeau met at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for maybe a gain of 1. No gain on the play. 9:42 and counting. Run play goes nowhere, and Noah Nadeau has not been able to get anything going on the ground. 3rd and 9 from the 48-yard line. Trips to the left side now, tied into the ball game. Branham lines up at the right side of the formation at the tight end. Nadeau to the right of Franklin, and the shotgun from the right hash mark. Claps his hands, low snap, takes the snap, drops back, looks left. Drifting, 10 in the pocket, fires the left side, comes to the 40-yard line, and hit down hard around the 38. And a first down for Lovejoy. Parker Livingstone once again. And the 3rd first down of the ball game, or the second half in this drive. Hands off to Nadeau, goes forward to the 34-yard line. And just those 2-yard gains, he hasn't been able to get much more than that. The defense has been all over him. McGee checks into the ballgame as Nadu comes out. 2nd and 8 from the 34-yard line. Left hash mark going left to right. 8:40 on the clock, 28-0. Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Trips to the right side, stacks on the far right numbers. McGee stands to the right of Franklin. Hands to him. McGee, left side. McGee puts his shoulder down and across the line of scrimmage. Gain of 1 on the play to the 33. Run game hasn't been working. Pass game wasn't working in the first half. It's working a little bit better in this first possession. Maybe you want to stick with that. With a 3rd and 7 coming up, 28-0, 8:11 on the clock in the third quarter to go. South Oak Cliff with a big lead over Lovejoy. 12-1 team. Trips to the right side for the left hash mark. Tied into the ball game, dropping back is Franklin. Plenty of time, fires right, points it off. Jackson Lavender, and incomplete. He underthrew him. Lavender had about a yard or 2 beat on his man for a second, and the underthrow ball from Hondo Franklin falls incomplete. Brings up 4th and 7. Offense staying out on the field right now. No call for Caden Carlock. It'd be a heck of a field goal from here. The 33, that'd be a 50-yard field goal for Caden Carlock. I like the kid's leg, but I'm not sure if he can get it up that far. 10 seconds on the play clock. They got to go quickly. Trips to the right side, tied in, and 1 to the left side. Empty backfield for Hondo Franklin. Gets the snap off. 4th and 7. Drops back. Here comes the pressure. Ball comes out on the throw. They're saying incomplete. And Franklin blindsided by a couple of Golden Bears as the ball gets batted down. And a turnover on down. South Oak Cliff gave up a couple of first downs, 3 first downs, but not a 4th. Turnover. And Kevin Henry Jennings will lead his offense out there onto the field. On the right hash, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Hollywood into the ball game as the running back. Man in motion, reads right to left. Hands off to Hollywood. Up middle he goes and stopped right past the line of scrimmage. A good gain by Keandre Hollywood. Hollywood stands at 5'9", 160, and I'm standing next to Kevin Henry Jennings. He looks small. Henry Jennings stands at 6'1", 205, or excuse me, 175. 7:25 and counting in the third quarter. 28-0. Lovejoy's deficit to South Oak Cliff. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. Tied into the ball game. They go Hollywood. Up the middle he goes. The right hash mark. Outside the right hash to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5 with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 28-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Henry Jennings gets the play from the sideline. Talks to his offensive line. Now gets set. Tells his tight end, Jaden Rowe, what's going on. Now they're ready to go. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Bootleg, out left side, fires on the run to the far sideline. Caught at the 48 and powers his way across the midfield. Mark, another pitch and catch to Jamari Colley. Henry Jennings bootleg with the running back out in front of him. And a first down for South Oak Cliff inside Lovejoy territory to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. Stacks doubles to the left side. Fires out to Randy Reese, the 50-yard line, and broken up and batted down. No, it was caught. And Randy Reese was drugged to the ground. They're going to give him forward progression to the 49-yard line. Loss of about 4 on the play. Push them back to the 49-yard line in their own territory. 6:10 and counting here in the third quarter to go. A lot of time off the clock and quickly. 28-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. 2nd and 14 from the 49. Left hash mark. Shotgun for Henry Jennings. Farrar up the middle. Right side. Right guard. 40. 35, 30, and down around there. Man, he's got lightning quick speed. First down, South Oak Cliff, and folks, I don't know what to tell you. Other than that is a quick young man down there. Cleveland Farrar gets him down to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. Shotgun for Henry Jennings. Farrar to the left of him, man in motion. Reese, left to right. Hand off to Farrar. Up middle he goes, but there's Dylan McGee to stop him right in the hole. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play to the 28-yard line. 5:19 and counting in the third quarter. 28-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Minutes and counting now. A lot of time coming off the clock in the third quarter. South Oak Cliff dominating this game. 2 to the right, receivers. Low snap to Henry Jennings, but he gets it off. DeAndre Hollywood, left side, outside the numbers. 10, 5, touchdown. That's showbiz, baby. Hollywood playing like he's a star into the movies. His second rushing touchdown of the ball game, and extends the lead to a 5-possession game, 34-0, pending this extra point. Just a sweep out to the left side, get outside the left numbers, and ran like there was no tomorrow. Well, because there really isn't here in the playoffs, as the kick is up and it's in. 35-0, 4:43 to go in the third quarter. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Big blowout here at the Frisco Ford Center on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Touchdown run for DeAndre Hollywood. A second of the ball game makes it a 35-0 game with 4:43 to go in the third quarter. Preston Trail Farm Store, one of our sponsors, as well as Smith Quality Greenhouses, Collin County Seed in downtown McKinney, and Hickman Creations. They have vintage cars and trucks. Special thanks to all of our sponsors here on KXEZ. 35-0 the score. An absolute blowout here in Frisco. Lavender, the deep man for Lovejoy. Out to the left side, caught at the 10-yard line on the run. Jackson Lavender, outside the right numbers, cuts back inside and hits across the 20-yard line. Gets maybe to the 24. Don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1 KXEZ, folks, hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to the TuneIn Radio app or TuneInRadio.com and click on 92.1 KXEZ. Hear us anywhere in the world, so tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. Also here at KXEZ, 92.1 FM KXEZ and 95.3 FM KHYI. The Reigns are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. Thank you for listening and, of course, for all your support throughout the years. Second possession of the second half for Hondo Franklin and the Lovejoy offense. They got to get rolling. There's time to make up, but it's going to be very difficult either way. And this one's thrown to the right side, incomplete, intended for Lavender, but he wasn't even looking. He went to go block. It was like it was a run play that he did not even know the ball was coming. Know it was going to be a pass play. 4:31 to go in the third quarter. It is not impossible. I've seen crazier things happen than a 35-point deficit being erased in 16 minutes. This one's fired to the left side, down the left seam. Amari Murdoch catches at the 30-yard line, falls forward to the 33. Close to the first down marker. And it is the first down. First down, Lovejoy. Fourth first down of this second half, this third quarter. They only had two all first half, I suppose. 4:13 and counting. Hand off to Nadu. Nadu bounces out to the left side. No, it's Matthew Maynard. 40-yard line, 45, and dives forward to the 47-yard line. Matthew Maynard, longest play of the day for the Lovejoy Leopards. Got maybe something cooking right now. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Lavender, the far wide receiver to the right side, outside the numbers. Franklin in the shotgun. Looks left, looks middle of the field, and the ball comes out. He was hitting as he threw it. And he's been hit all night long. Incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10 from the 48. 3:48 on the clock in the third quarter. 35-0. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Got to take some chances right here. I would think this is where you have to and want to. But it's 2nd and 10. Got to get a little bit closer. Maynard running back to the left of Franklin. Takes the snap. Franklin, quarterback draw. Left side, has some space. 50-yard line, 45, and drives to the ground. Dives to the ground. Gives himself up. They give him the 46-yard line in Sasso Cliff territory, making it 3rd and 5. From that 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side, 2 to the right side. Maynard running back in on the left side of Hondo. Franklin takes the snap, play action, drops back, has some time, sets up, fires down the left seam. Ball for Livingstone, cut up to 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Lovejoy on the board and a quick strike from Hondo Franklin. Parker Livingstone had a step on his receiver down the left seam. And Lovejoy said, whoa, wait a minute. Still a big-time ball game, a big-time deficit. But that's a step in the right direction with 3:03 on the clock in the 3rd. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good. Carlock puts it up and in. It's 35-7. Stay tuned, folks. Might have something historic coming on here in a bit when we come back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ, long touchdown pass from Hondo Franklin for the first score of the game for the Lovejoy Leopards to Parker Livingstone. But a touchdown catch in last week's game as well, and Lovejoy will kick off for the first time since the very first start of play, starting the ball game. And Trent Rucker will do the kickoff duties for Lovejoy. And onside kick, ball is up and a nice play down there by one of the Oak Cliff Golden Bears to fall on it. It was a bouncing ball, bounding ball, and a nice job by David Friel to cover that one up. And Kevin Henry Jennings from the South Oak Cliff offense will take over at the 48-yard, their own 48-yard line. And I got news from my broadcast producer and engineer, Ethan Brooks, saying that CBS is projecting the Texas A&M Aggies to play in the Citrus Bowl on New Year's Day against Iowa. So we'll have that coverage for you here on KXEZ, your Metroplex home for A&M Athletics. Passing around now is Quaylen Farrar. Down to the 49-yard line, gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9 cut. I mentioned it a few times already, but Quaylen Farrar, North Texas Mean Green commit. Doing a nice job for South Oak Cliff tonight. 2nd and 9 from the 49-yard line. Just a yard shy of midfield, going right to left in the middle of the field. Two receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun break, Henry Jennings claps his hands, takes the snap. Farrar up the middle he goes, makes the man miss at that line of scrimmage, and hit down, brought down, and thrown down hard at the 47-yard line after a nice gain of about 4. Making it 3rd and 5 from the 47. 35-0, 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. 35-7 the score. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Crowd getting into it. Big play right here for the Lovejoy Leopards. They need this. 2 to the right for Kevin Henry Jennings. 1 to the left. Claps his hand. Fires to the right side. He's got a man at the 40. The 35-30. Randy Reese. First down. South Oak Cliff after he's up into the 20-yard line. A snap pop throw to the right side by Kevin Henry Jennings, and he has been fantastic all year long. Beautiful play, but it went in and out of the hands of a linebacker for Lovejoy. Perfectly placed pass. And a first down for South Oak Cliff with 1:25 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Up by 28. 35-7 the score. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Two receivers on the left side, one to the right. DeAndre Hollywood in the ball game to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. They hand it to him. He dances around, gets away from a couple of tacklers, and thrown to the ground, flung to the ground, really at the 17-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. It'll be 2nd and 6 to the 17 with 55 seconds to go. Man, Lovejoy needed that stop on 3rd down, force a 4th down, and force a decision. Todd Ford, or Jason Todd, I should say, not Todd Ford. To the right side, flag comes in. On that 4th down or 3rd down reception.
Practice now. False start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Remain 2nd down.
On that quick pass to the right side on that 3rd down conversion, Bennett Slaughter had the ball go right through his arms and into the arms of Randy Reese, the receiver. That's old news. Ball spotted back at the 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11, 29 seconds and counting in the 3rd quarter to go. Shotgun for Kevin Henry Jennings. Hollywood to the right of him. Reese in motion left to right. Goes behind the back. Hollywood swooping left, outside the left hash, cuts it upfield to the 20-yard line, hit hard at the 17-yard line, gets those 5 yards right back. And 12 seconds are left and counting in the 3rd quarter. That might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. And it will be. Teams walking off to their respective sidelines. Lovejoy got on the board finally. Put 7 points up there, but a long way to go, especially with South Oak Cliff threatening. 35-7, 3rd and 6 coming up from the 17 when we start the 4th quarter for South Oak Cliff back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Start of the 4th quarter we go. 3rd and 6 coming up from the 17-yard line. Now going left to right are the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. And Kevin Henry Jennings, who has commanded this offense all year long, is ready to really put the dagger into the hearts of this Lovejoy Leopards team. And he's 17 yards away from doing it, even though it's just the start of the 4th quarter. 35-7, South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Shotgun for Kevin Henry Jennings. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. To the right of him is Farrar. No, Kevin Henry Jennings, quarterback keeper, 15-yard line, 10, 5, touchdown, South Oak Cliff. That shows his, baby. And the dagger. Load it up, lock it up, and let it fly. Kevin Henry Jennings, 2nd rushing touchdown of the ball game. And that right there, that's a silencer. Fans now headed for the gates on the Lovejoy side. And the kick is up and it's in. 42-7. 11:53 to go in the 4th. A lot of ball game left, but not nearly enough for Lovejoy on 92.1 FM at KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
(42-7). Kevin Henry Jennings showing you what he can do. And man, he does it well. 7 seconds into the 4th quarter. First play from that 17-yard line, and he ran it in like it was nothing. Easy for South Oak Cliff right now. And I mean, they're a ball club that can put it on you quick, and their defense has stepped up against one of the best offenses in North Texas. I don't know what the game plan is here for Lovejoy. They'll do all they can. They were trying to be aggressive. They scored last time and kicked off. Started an onside kick, and this one's fielded at the 12-yard line by Jackson Lavender. Cuts it outside. That's the right hash, outside the right numbers, and that's bound near the 25-yard line. And Hondo Franklin will lead his team back out there. Scored on the last possession. Touchdown pass to Parker Livingstone. Lovejoy on the board for the first time. With a 46-yard touchdown pass from Franklin to Livingstone. And now two receivers to the right side, one to the left side. Shotgun for Franklin. Drops back, looks right, fires right down the right seam, has Lavender, and in and out of the hands. What a defensive play. Manny Muhammad. Lavender had a hand on it. He had both of his hands on it. And Muhammad came out of nowhere to knock it out. Incomplete pass, 11:40 on the clock, 1st and 10. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line, right hash mark. Doubles wide receiver set. Looks like the pressure's coming from South Oak Cliff, and they bring it. 5 rushers, line out to the left side, incomplete. Lovejoy wanted a flag, but no flag. 3rd and 10, intended for Amari Murdoch. 11:35, but I like what they're doing. They went run in the 3rd quarter, this time throwing the ball. One of the best quarterbacks out there, why not? Claps his hands. Franklin drops back, has the time, steps up the pocket, fires to the right side. Lavender at the 30-yard line. 35 puts his shoulder down and dives for that first down marker, but a couple of Golden Bears right there to stop him just short. It's going to be 4th and a yard. They're going to go for it. And they're bringing out the Wildcat formation. Peyton Pierce, who's been that dude. Trying to do it again. Keep Lovejoy's hopes alive. 4th and 1 from the 36-yard line. Man in motion, right to left. Pierce, quarterback power, up the middle, push the pile. 40-yard line, 45, first down. Peyton Pierce, you can't stop him. Give him the ball again. Give it to him again. He's staying out there. First down for Lovejoy, 42-7. I know it's kind of a big deficit, but I want to see these Lovejoy Leopards all their way back in. Peyton Pierce, power, right side, 50, 45, 40. Just short of the 40 at the 42. I mean, he can get you 6-7 yards in a hurry, and he does. That's a big body down there. Stands at 6'2", 200 pounds, listed as a linebacker. Back again, 1st and 10. Up the middle he goes, power right side, 40-yard line, falls forward another 5 yards, and a flag comes in late.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that helps out Lovejoy quite a bit. Pushes them to the 23-yard line. 10-12 on the clock and counting here in the 4th quarter. 42-7 the score. Lovejoy's got a ways to go. They take Peyton Pierce out and put Hondo Franklin in. McGee to the left of Franklin. He claps his hand, takes the snap. McGee, right side, dances around the right guard to the 20-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 7 with 9:15 counting in the 4th quarter to go. 42-7 the score. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy here at the Ford Center in Frisco. Practice home of the Dallas Cowboys. It'll be at the right hash mark. Long way to go for Lovejoy, but they're trying to keep it interesting. 9.5 minutes to go in this one. Tied into the ball game, 2 tight ends. Snap to Franklin. He's got a quarterback draw, right side. Gets stopped up at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a gain of 2 to the 18-yard line. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5, if I'm not mistaken, with 9:15 to go in the 4th. Franklin comes off the field, goes to talk to his head coach, Chris Frost, and Peyton Pierce comes out. Again, they're going to give it to him. 4th and 5 to go. 9:04 in the 4th to go. Shotgun for Peyton Pierce. McGee to the right of him. Claps his hand. Quarterback power up the middle again, but this time he's stopped. And Manny Muhammad, who's had his hand in a lot of defensive plays, quite literally at times, makes a stop for Lovejoy and pushes them behind the line for a loss of 1. 4th and 6 with 8:45 to go. They're going to go for it, of course. And Lovejoy, if they want any hope, and I mean, there's already a sliver of hope, if none, they're going to have to get this one. Play action. No, they hand it to Nadeau on the sweep to the right side. Not even close. Loss of 3, And a turnover on down. I question the play call just a bit, folks, because, I mean, you got Hondo Franklin. I know he's just a sophomore, but 48 touchdown passes, now 49 on the season. And I know he struggled just a bit, but you go with the guy who brought you there. As my mother used to tell me, you go with who brought you to the dance. And Hondo Franklin certainly did that for Lovejoy, and they handed it to Nadu off to the right side, and he couldn't get there. Turnover on downs, and that pretty much seals it. I mean, it's been sealed a while ago. Hollywood to the right side. And can't get it. Actually, no, it was a running back. I'll tell you who it is. New one. Tidgick Williams, backup quarterback into the ball game. But at the running back position. Williams now lines up at the running back position to the left of Henry Jennings in the left hash mark at the 21-yard line. 2nd and 11. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Quarterback keeper, Henry Jennings. Started to go right, now goes left. Back to the left hash mark, slung down at the 30-yard line. A yard short of that at the 29, near the first down marker. He's a yard short of that. Henry Jennings has got some wheels, folks. He is grand. He is a fantastic runner. A great quarterback, astounding accuracy. I can just go on and on about this dude. He has been great all season long for the Golden Bears. He is a commit to Missouri State. He did that about 2 weeks ago. He's headed there next year. But right now, he's got a 42-7 lead over Lovejoy with 7:10 left to go in this ball game. Shotgun snap. Snap over the right side. Caught at the 37-yard line, the 33-yard line, bouncing around to the 37, and now across the 40 as the flag comes in late at the end of it. On that catch was Horace
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, not great for Lovejoy. Face mask. Pushes them to the 44-yard line of Lovejoy territory. An automatic first down, as you heard the referee, Ricky Herron, the second. And now 2 receivers to the right side. Henry Jennings still in the ball game at quarterback. In the shotgun with Williams to the left of him. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tied in on the left side of the formation. Shotgun snap, play action. Looks right. Here comes the pressure. Tucks and run. The 45 now takes a deep pass to the left sideline. Jump ball and incomplete. Intended for that receiver, Ricky Evans, just a sophomore. As Coach Jason Todd has sort of emptied the bench at the skills possession other than the quarterback. (42-7) the score, 6:28 left to go in this one. 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line, the right hash mark. Going in left to right. Henry Jennings with that number 8 on his jersey. Awaits the snap. Evans in motion, right to left. Hands it off. Williams up the middle he goes, and there's the Lovejoy's defense to stop him at the line of scrimmage. (6:10) and counting in the fourth quarter. And well, the way this one's going, folks, it's all over but the shouting. Halfway through the fourth quarter, and 6 minutes left to go in this ball game. 42-7 in commanding lead are the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. And off to the right side, Williams trying to get outside the right numbers and drugged to the ground at about the 40-yard line. Short of the first down by about 5-6 yards. It'll be 4th and 6 from the 40-yard line. They're going to go for it. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Williams to the left of him. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side. 5 minutes approaching left to go in this ball game. Bootleg out to the left side. Stop. Pop. No. Rolls back to the right side. Reverses field. The 45-yard line. Stops back. Henry Jennings fires to the left side. Back to the middle of the field. And swatted down. Turnover on down. Nice play defensively by Trent Rucker. And Lovejoy will take over at the 40-yard line. Well, folks, I'm about to try to update you real quick on. So, Cooper and Ryder played yesterday at 7 o'clock in Abilene. And Cooper won 22-0. So, Cooper is awaiting the winner of this one, which, as we know, it's going to be South Oak Cliff. They lead 42-7. Franklin, throw to the right side. The right hash mark is caught by Amari Murdoch. Past the midfield mark inside South Oak Cliff territory to the 48-yard line. First down for Lovejoy.
Offside. Defense number 75. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a first down.
First and 10 from the 48-yard line. Play action. Franklin looking right. Stripping out to the right side. Trying to get out of tacklers. And does toss this one out of bounds. Incomplete. Second and 10. Liberty Hill and Crosby already make up one side of the semifinal bracket, coming out of Region 3 and Region 4. Ryder now coming out of Region 1. And South Oak Cliff will be the winners, emerge victorious out of Region 2 and face Cooper in the semifinal, state semifinal. And the winner of that game will play the winner of Crosby and Liberty. And that's the final set on the 5A Division 2 side of the bracket. This one's caught out to the right side by Livingstone and Parker Livingstone, who's had a nice game and a touchdown catch. Gets this one close to the first down marker at the 42-yard line. 4.5 minutes left to go on this one. Whistles come in and a flag before the play.
No foul. Football start.
Okay, thank you. Don't miss the UIL Football State Championships. They start Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington. Ticket information and more can be found at UILTexas.org. Next game, we're going to continue our coverage of Texas high school football in the playoffs next week as we follow the Gunner Tigers. They play in 3A Division 2. They'll take on Lubbock Roosevelt next Friday at 7 p.m. in Abilene. Scott Powell will have the call for you. So be sure to tune in to 92.1 KXEZ, your Metroplex leader in high school sports. Franklin, pass out to the left side, caught by Amari Murdoch down the left seam, past the 30-yard line. And a first down for Lovejoy. Well, these two teams came in 12-1 apiece, and one's leaving with 13 wins, and that's going to be South Oak Cliff as Franklin. Watch out of the pocket to the right side, directs traffic, fires to the right sideline, and incomplete. Threw in a double coverage, trying to make a play, and couldn't do it. (42-7) the score with 4:11 to go in the fourth quarter. Second and 10 from the 30-yard line. Franklin drops back, trips out to the right side, looks down to the middle of the field, caught by Parker Livingstone on the right hash mark, 15-yard line, spins left or right, makes the move, gets past the man, and dives inside the 10-yard line at the 8. And a first down for Lovejoy, first and goal. It's loud in here, folks. I'm telling you, it's loud. South Oak Cliff is loving it. Trips to the left side for Hondo Franklin. Drops back, has some space, right side, tucking and running. Outside the line of scrimmage, 5, touchdown. Hondo Franklin. Wants to sprinkle a little bit of sugar in what's been a very sour sort of game for Lovejoy. Runs that one in from 7 yards out. And Caden Carlock will come in for the extra point try, although there is a confusion on what's going on right now. Hey, they're going to go for two. Why not? 3:42 on the clock, 42-13 the score. Peyton Pierce in at quarterback, claps his hands, hands it. No, he's going to keep it and toss it out to the right side. 2-point conversion is good. With Brian Kotecki on that receiving end and has those 2 points. 3:42 on the clock in the fourth quarter to go. 42-15 the score as South Oak Cliff leads Lovejoy, and they've got 3 minutes and 42 seconds until they head to the state semifinals on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ, it was a 7-yard touchdown run by Hondo Franklin to complete that drive and the touchdown for Lovejoy. Onside kick is going to be attempted right now. That's what they're lining up for. Caden Carlock. It's going to be from the left side, left hash. Going to kick it to the right side of the field. Carlock puts the dough to it. Bouncing ball. It's up in the air and out of bounds. It didn't get 10 yards. It missed everybody. It had the perfect hop, but went 9 yards and out of bounds to the 49. There's the flag.
Free kick out of bounds. Chicken team. All this place 5 yards for the spot of the foul. First down, South Oak Cliff.
I'll tell you what, we've only covered 2 Lovejoy games this year, both in the playoffs, and Caden Carlock has showed he's got the goods. He is a fantastic field goal kicker, place kicker, and he puts extra points up easily, no problem at all. And I know that's pretty easy for a lot of people, a lot of big school 5A, 6A schools in Texas. But he's also been very good directionally punting. He's got a very good leg, and just right there, the way that he kicked that onside kick attempt shows me that he is a fine player and kicker. New quarterback into the ball game as they hand it off to the right side. That's Tedrick Williams. The new quarterback in is William Little, 5'10", 165-pound sophomore. Getting some playing time in garbage time here with 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter. 42-15, South Oak Cliff leads Lovejoy. They'll be taking on Cooper next week in the state semifinals. Cooper Pirates from Lubbock, 13-1, 5-0 in their district. Another tough team. 2 13-1 teams will meet in South Oak Cliff and Lubbock Cooper. Snap to Williams. To William Little, I should say. And Williams, the running back, will get a couple of yards, maybe 1 yard to the 41. Folks, there's a lot of good games this week. A lot of good games. I was figuring this was going to be a lot closer than it was. 2 great offenses, 2 good defenses, but South Oak Cliff has showed why their defense has been a centerpiece of this entire team. Of course, they've got the big arm of Kevin Henry Jennings, the accurate arm. They've got the 2 talents in the backfield of Farrar and Hollywood, as this one's powered forward by Williams to the 40, make it the 37-yard line. On third down, doesn't get the first down. It'll be 4th and 5. So I thought the offenses would be kind of, good matching up against each other. With Hondo Franklin and all his outside wide receiving weapons, we're all going D1 when they graduate. But that defense, the secondary, held Hondo Franklin to be pretty much a non-factor in this game. Yes, he did have the 1 touchdown pass. That went 46 yards. But He hasn't done much since then. Williams, left side of the left guard, to the left hash, down across the 40, doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and a turnover on downs with 1:11 left to go in this one. 42-15 is the score as Lovejoy will take over, and we'll see. We're seeing that everybody's huddled up on the Lovejoy sideline. As Coach Chris Ross is going to address his team on the field, probably for the last time this season, who's put together an amazing first couple of seasons for this Lovejoy Leopard team. Last year was his first time. They made it to this quarterfinal round, the regional final round, state quarterfinal, regional final. Last year they did. They lost to Aledo, who won the state championship. Now they meet South Oak Cliff as Hondo Franklin drops back, has a man down the right sideline, the right seam, caught by Parker Livingstone. The 15-10, and a big gain on first down with a minute left to go. And Parker Livingstone has had a couple of those big catches, and Hondo Franklin says, not so fast. I want to get in on some more action with 56 and counting in the fourth to go. Shotgun snap, left sideline, caught, and no, in and out of the hands of Amari Murdoch, who had a touchdown if he held on. But this Lovejoy team, or Chris Ross, with his second season with this Lovejoy team, is going to get knocked out in the quarterfinal round, the fourth round of the playoffs, by a team that took down a former state champion in South Oak Cliff. They took down Aledo last week, and that's who beat this Lovejoy team last year. But maybe South Oak Cliff, they're looking like they've got what it takes to win a state championship as Franklin drops back, tucks in a run, but gets struck down from behind at the 10-yard line, no gain. 42 seconds left to go, and whistles come in.
Lovejoy's first time out of the second half.
They take a timeout, and at one point you think, fight to the end, I'm all for it. This one has been over. 42-15, 40 seconds left to go in the fourth. Third and 11 from the 11, third and goal from the 11. It's already been established that Lubbock Cooper won their game against Ryder yesterday. So that's who South Oak Cliff will meet in the state semifinal. They have to go through them if they want to get to their first ever state championship game. The last time the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears won this game was 1970. Yes, 1970. Over 50 years ago. That was the last time they advanced past this fourth round, and right now you can see they're feeling it. Up 42-15. Franklin in the shotgun. Drops back, gets a good block, stands in the pocket, fires on the slant, ball up in the air and incomplete. It's headed for Murdoch once again. Whistles come in. Let's see what this is all about. What's up, Doc? Flag in the end zone.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 22. After this to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, the Lovejoy side of the stadium that was completely filled up has now been depleted to a few straggling fans. They head for the gate. As Lovejoy head for the end zone here in the last possession. Back throw the corner and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Again, it was Parker Livingstone. In the back corner of the end zone. Going to bring up second and goal from the 5. With 30 seconds left. Shotgun from the right hash mark. Hondo Franklin. Nadu to the right of him. Man in motion. Lavender. Right to left. Dropping back. Slant. Back corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Amari Murdoch and broken up again by, Manny Muhammad has had such a beautiful game. Great game from Manny Muhammad. Making catches, timely catches early in this one, and great defensive plays with tackles for losses and bad deflections. Good on him. Doubles wide receiver set. 26 seconds left to go in the game. 42-15. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Ball low snap, fires to the left side, incomplete, and the defense comes up big with a flag. Well, folks, they're trying to get in the end zone one last time, and I like the fight.
Holding of another receiver, defense number 27. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And again, an automatic first down after a 3rd and goal was a incomplete pass. And they bring in Peyton Pierce out there. Well, you know how much I like Peyton Pierce and the way he plays the football game. Now he's going to line up at the Wildcat position with Dylan McGee to the right of him in the shotgun. Peyton Pierce claps his hands, low snap, goes to the right side, gonna power, end zone, touchdown Lovejoy. Few groans from the South Oak Cliff side. And they just are delaying the inevitable. Lovejoy is. Put a touchdown from Peyton Pierce. And they're gonna stay on the field and go for 2. This is just maybe a credit to Chris Ross, giving his seniors a little more time to play the game of football before life gets real after college or after high school. Peyton Pierce, 2-point conversion try, powers up the middle, and no. 18 seconds left to go in this ball game. 2-point conversion, no good, 42-21. South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. Back to the final moments of this one. Back on 92.1 FM and KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Seconds left to go. Peyton Pierce with a touchdown run. He was the star last week. I say he's the star for Lovejoy this week. Came up big in a few moments, although those 21 points kind of mean nothing right now, as it's half the score of what South Oak Cliff has put up. They scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and have not looked back, dominating this one. Trent Rucker on to kick off. And Rucker gets this one away to the 5-yard line and into the end zone for a touchback. So a knee will do it here. 42-21. South Oak Cliff leading the Lovejoy Leopards. They've all but punched their ticket to the state semifinals next week. They'll take on Lubbock Cooper. Stay tuned after the final whistle. I'll send us a break for a second. I come back and let you know about everything we saw today and what we might see going forward. Getting out on the field on the victory formation quite late, 4 seconds on the play clock. They might get a delay of game penalty. And they get it off, but they couldn't get another player past the line of scrimmage.
Ball start. Offense number 35. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So one player was running off the sideline to get in formation, and they snapped the ball, and he was about 6 yards downfield ultimately. And with 18 seconds left, they're in victory formation, and Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun will take the snap, takes the knee, and he'll send South Oak Cliff to the state semifinals for the first time since 1970. In 50 years. State semis, South Oak Cliff, collision course. They'll meet Lubbock Cooper to play for a chance. They go to the state championship. 42-21, South Oak Cliff over Lovejoy. A dominant first quarter and never looked back. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter And they demolished this Lovejoy team. It was actually never a contest, really. South Oak Cliff certainly is one of the best teams in the state of Texas in any classification. 42-21. When we come back, we'll get a final word in, my final thoughts, and a look ahead. Back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. We're going to continue our Texas high school football playoff coverage next week as we follow the Gunner Tigers. They'll take on Lubbock Roosevelt next Friday at 7 p.m. in Abilene. Scott Fowle will have the call for you. Be sure to tune in then to 92.1 KXEZ, your Metroplex leader in high school sports. The friendly folks at Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year this year. Thank you to our longtime sponsor, Grayson Collin Electric. And also, don't miss the UIL Football State Championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Final score here in this fourth round of the playoffs, 42-21. South Oak Cliff prevails over Lovejoy, but it wasn't even close as that score indicates. Quick rundown of the team stats. 419 yards for South Oak Cliff, 365 for Lovejoy, 250 through the air for Stock, and Lovejoy had 260. 105 yards on the ground for Lovejoy, 169 for South Oak Cliff. And the star of the game, Kevin Henry Jennings, 18 of 25. That's 72% passing completion percentage, which is ridiculous. He had 250 yards through the air and 1 touchdown. He also had 2 touchdown runs for 29 yards. Keandre Hollywood, 76 yards for 2 touchdowns. And Quaylen Farrar, a touchdown on 55 yards. Randy Reese, 107 yards receiving, 5 catches and a touchdown. 4 for 53 for Jamiri Cawley. 3 for 26 for Corinthian Coleman. Manny Muhammad at 2 for 29. Kylan Mathis, 2 for 12. And Horace Bradshaw and Keandre Hollywood both had a catch as well. Franklin underperformed quite a bit. 17 for 36. That's 47%. 260 and a touchdown. Peyton Pierce became the leading rusher on 7 attempts, 45 yards and a touchdown. Alexander Hondo Franklin with a touchdown run. Parker Livingstone, 153 yards on 6 receptions for 1 touchdown. 6 from Lavender, 4 from Murdoch, 1 from Kyle Parker. 42-21. For the first time in 50 years, South Oak Cliff is heading to the 5th round, the state semifinal round of the Texas 5A Division II high school playoffs. They got a date with Lubbock Cooper. And final score here, 42-21. For Ethan Brooks, our fantastic studio engineer and producer, for Ken Jones, I'm Ethan Herrera saying good night from Frisco.